Kent County Levy Court meeting is now called to order at 7:04 p.m. on Tuesday, January 14th. I'd like to turn the meeting over to Acting County Administrator Kevin Sipple.
Thank you, Madam President. This meeting is being held in person at 555 Bay Road, Dover, Delaware, in the Levy Court chambers. We're also making it available via the internet through the WebEx. Participants can join us by phone or by computer during the meeting. There will be opportunities for public comment for those attending in person and online. When the President opens the public comment period, those attending in person may step forward to one of the two podiums and be recognized. If you're joining us by phone and wish to comment, please press star 3, which will raise your electronic hand. Our operator will identify you and bring you into the meeting. Pressing star 6 will mute or unmute your line. If you're online, you will see a hand and a microphone icon at the bottom of your screen. Please use those at appropriate times. We ask guests to begin public comments by stating your name and address for the record. The county attorney will administer an oath of affirmation to anyone giving testimony during a public hearing. We ask that public comments relate to the subject announced by the President. In addition to public hearings, there are 2 public comment periods, one at the beginning of the meeting for agenda items and one near the end of the meeting for general comments. This meeting is being recorded and will follow the rules of procedure adopted by Levy Court as well as the Mason Rules of Order. Back to you, Madam President.
Thank you, Acting Commissioner. At this point in time, I'd like to ask Commissioner Pepper to do the invocation, Commissioner Hertz to do the pledge, and a moment of silence for our troops and responders. Commissioner Sweeney, rise.
Dear Heavenly Being, thank you for allowing us to come together tonight to do the work of the county. Let us have a productive meeting and make the right decisions for all of our constituents. Amen.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence for our military, law enforcement, firefighters, paramedics, and other first responders who have given their lives in the line of duty. Please remember these individual first responders who have died in the line of duty, as well as keeping their families in your thoughts and prayers as they deal with the loss of their loved ones. I would also ask that you include in your thoughts and prayers those devastated by losses due to fires in Southern California and the firefighters and volunteers who continue to put their lives on the line of duty to protect us. Trooper Clay Carnes from the Illinois State Police, Police Officer Michael Horan from the Greensboro Police Department, North Carolina, Correction Officer Andrew Lansing from the Ohio Office of Rehab and Correction, Lieutenant Mark Meadows from the Irondale Police Department, Alabama, Deputy Sheriff Timothy Corlew from the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, California, K-9 Boomy from the Richland County Sheriff's Department, South Carolina, K-9 Kaya from the Streetsboro Police Department, Ohio, Chief Joseph Murphy from the Henderson County Fire Department in Lexington, Kentucky, firefighter Jeffrey Albanese from the Brockton Fire Department, Brockton, Massachusetts, and fire apparatus engineer Kevin Skinner from the Orange County Fire Authority in California. Thank you.
Roll call, Ms. Tanaka.
Mr. Angel?
Present.
Mr. Hall?
Present.
Mr. Hertz?
Present.
Mr. Scott?
Here.
Mr. Sweeney?
Here.
Mr. Pepper?
Here.
Mrs. Maston?
Present.
Madam President, roll call reveals 7 present.
Thank you. A motion to adopt the current agenda?
So moved, Madam President.
Motion and second. Roll call, Ms. Tanaka.
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Hertz?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Madam President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Do we have anyone that would like to offer public comments on any of the agenda items? Seeing no one. Mr. Kennedy?
If there's anyone joining us online that would like to make public comments at this time, please indicate by raising an electronic hand. No hands raised, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. For this evening, we have no presentations, no public hearings. Anyone have any old business they want to discuss? Anyone have new business they would like to discuss? Commissioner Scott?
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion to fund the Frederica Senior Center in the amount of $3,000 through the FY25 Community Grant Program for contingency.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, Ms. Tanaka?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Hertz?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Madam President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Okay, first item, Mr. Hertz, the Aubrey property.
Yeah, I move to approve the purchase of MD-00-141.00-01-33.00 in the amount of $455,000. Funding is sewer fund retained earnings, and authorize levy court president to execute the purchase contract and associated purchase documents pending county attorney concurrence.
Second motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Tanaka?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Hertz?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Madam President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Next item is to reintroduce Resolution 4081, a resolution to extend the Kent County Stormwater Maintenance District pursuant to Chapter 52, Title 9 of the Delaware Code and Section 90.4E 10, Chapter 187 of the Kent County Code, Schoolhouse Village, for public hearing on Tuesday, January 28, 2025 at 7 p.m. Mr. Scott?
Thank you, Madam President. Introduction of Resolution 4082, a resolution to extend the Kent County Stormwater Maintenance District pursuant to Chapter 52, Title 9 of the Delaware Code and Section 90.4E 10, Chapter 187 of Kent County Code, Cattail Creek, for public hearing on Tuesday, January 28, 2025 at 7 p.m.
Vice President Scott?
Also, a reintroduce of ordinance LC 24-31, an ordinance amending 128, Article 11, fees enumerated 128-42, Department of Planning Services, to establish the annual stormwater maintenance district fee charged by the levy court beginning in fiscal year 2026, tax year 2025, for public hearing on Tuesday, January 28, 2025 at 7 p.m.
Okay, I need a motion to go into executive session.
Madam President, move to go into the executive session immediately following the business meeting for the preliminary discussion of site acquisition for a publicly funded capital improvement, legal strategy session regarding collective bargaining or pending or potential litigation, personal matters pursuant to 29 Delaware C, 10,004 B2, 4, and 9. Also move to go into executive session immediately following the committee meetings workshop on Tuesday, January 21st, 2025, for preliminary discussion on the site acquisition for a public funded capital improvement, legal strategy session regarding the collective bargaining pending potential litigation, personal matters pursuant to 29 Delaware C, 10,004 B2, 4, and 9.
Second motion.
Ms. Tanaka?
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Hertz?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Madam President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. Do we have any information items from any commissioners? Any public comments? Any commissioner comments? Commissioner Angel?
Thank you, Madam President. This Thursday, I believe we have the DAC meeting with the our 3 counties. So just want to make sure everybody knows that.
Anyone else have commissioner comments? Having no other commissioner comments, motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Off to executive